Now, the issue of race in South Africa has resulted in one of the UK's biggest public relations firms being kicked out of the industry's trade association. Bell Pottinger is accused of stoking racial tensions in South Africa. That's after it worked on a campaign for Oakbay Capital, an investment firm owned by the wealthy Gupta family, who are close allies of President Jacob Zuma. The country's opposition party, the Democratic Alliance, filed a complaint to the UK's Public Relations and Communications Association earlier this year. It said the campaign portrayed Zuma's opponents as agents of, quote, white monopoly capital, unquote. It added the campaign stressed on the existence of an economic apartheid. Bell Pottinger released a statement saying it accepts that there are lessons to be learned, but disputes the basis on which the ruling was made. It also reiterated that the majority of its partners and employees did not play a part in the Oakbay Capital account and have not been accused of breaching the PRCA code. And it notes that, quote, many of them would now consider applying for individual membership, unquote. And the Public Relations and Communications Association says Bell Pottinger will not be eligible to reapply for a minimum of 5 years, and neither can it appeal the decision.
Bell Pottinger had broken both our professional charter and our code of conduct. They had stirred up racial tension in South Africa. They hadn't been honest with the public. They hadn't upheld the highest standards of PR.
For more on this, Natalie Powell joins me from London. Natalie, great to have you with us. Now, there have been many PR disasters in recent years, but it's rare for a PR company itself to be at the centre of one of these. What more has Bell Pottinger been saying?
It certainly is unusual, you're right. In fact, that's perhaps why we've seen the PRCA dole out one of the harshest sanctions that it ever has in its entire history, of course. And in fact, Francis Ingham, the Director General of the PRCA, who you've just heard from, told me that given that Bell Pottinger is tasked with looking after the reputation of a number of its clients, it's not been very good at looking after its own reputation. And that really goes to show just how damaging this is likely to be for the company's reputation. As for Bell Pottinger, we have heard in a statement from the company that it acknowledges the decision made by the PRCA in this, but it has disputed the basis under which the ruling was made. And it's also stated that a number of its staff members, which will of course be affected by this and by the company's reputation, were not involved in the Oakbay Capital account. Bell Pottinger has already made a number of attempts to improve things. It, of course, back in July, sacked or suspended 4 members of staff that worked on the Oakbay Capital account. And of course, this weekend, we've seen its CEO, James Henderson, resign over the affair. But of course, it does need to learn a lot from these mistakes. And of course, it has a significant amount of work to do to ensure that changes are made so that if indeed the company still exists in 5 years' time, when it can reapply for membership of the PRCA, that it's able to do so and therefore can prove to the PRCA that it's made these changes and therefore should be a member.
Natalie, give us an idea of the size of the PR industry in the UK.
It's a huge industry. The latest figures that we have date back to 2016, and the consensus suggests that this industry is worth around $16 billion. It employs around 83,000 members of staff and has been continuously growing over the past 5 years. And Bell Pottinger is a big player in all of this. It is estimated to be about the 13th biggest PR firm in the UK. It employs 190 people or around there. And according to the Custom House reports that we have from Bell Pottinger back in 2015, it had revenues of about $50 million and profits of $5 million. So we're looking at a very big, well-established PR industry that has succumbed really to the ethics probe that we've seen doled out by the PRCA.